Hello. Welcome or welcome back to Reads of an Apple. My name is Stacy and I'm here to start week 17, I believe, 2023. Happy Monday. I did not film a clip this weekend to start this vlog. There were things going on and I was still kind of struggling with the sty in my eye, but the swelling has gone down drastically. Especially if you saw my ending clip for last week, you saw how massive it was. So I still have it, but like the excess swelling has gone down a lot, which is nice. And yeah, so anyway, let's just get into it. As for books, I did start and finish on Sunday. A Sweep of the Blade by Lona Andrews. I picked this up for book club, which is this coming Friday. And yeah, I loved this. This is book 4 in the Innkeeper Chronicles. And it was just amazing. I had so much fun. This, we kind of separated from Dina as the main character in the first 3 books. And here we focus on Maud, which is her sister, and her romance with Arland. And we see them like back at Arland's home base. And, you know, we're dealing with, you know, vampire politics and politics of the Holy Anocracy and a couple of other houses that end up kind of trying to take over or do some bad things to House Krar, which is Arlen's house. And we also get so many wonderful moments with Helen, Maud's daughter. And I just loved the connection between Arland and Maud, and I just loved how patient he was with her, and he understood that yes, she loved him and yes, she wants to marry him, but you know, she has some trauma and some feelings about what happened the first time and being abandoned if something happens to her vampire husband, and kind of mostly to her daughter. And it was just so much fun. I read the paperback-ish while I listened to the graphic audio. I was planning on reading it this weekend anyway, but with my eye still kind of bothering me, I was like, this is the perfect time to just kind of put on the audiobook and relax and focus on it. And it was just so much fun. I'm loving the graphic audios for this series. It's... And the last freaking sentence in this book, I was like hollering out loud because I was like, why are we ending like this? Like, what are we doing? I couldn't believe it. I really want to pick up the next book in the series, but I'm gonna wait because I like to read these as close to book club as I can so I remember everything. But another 5-star read from Lona Andrews. I loved it. I will show you. I did use one of my Love Not Found bookmarks. So this is a comic which she is turning into a graphic novel. And I think volume 3 is on Kickstarter right now, but I'll link her stuff down below. But I am a big fan of this. This is like a space comic, and I love her artwork. And so I was using this because I thought it worked well. So yeah, I have finished this. As for what reading challenges I applied this to, so first off, I finally did my next romanceopoly, which is Star Harbor. So if you did not see it when I rolled this is the generic genre prompt of sci-fi, or the more specific one is read a sci-fi where one of the main characters is an alien. Now this works because in this specific series vampires are aliens and we spend all of our time on a different planet, and this is a sci-fi series with more paranormal creatures, so I'm counting it because technically Arland is an alien to Maud. Although, because this is mostly set on Maud's or on Arlen's planet and with the vampires, I guess technically Maud would be the alien in that instance. But you know what I mean. So I used it for that. So after I film this clip, we will do my next Romanceopoly roll, which is fun. For a Gildathon, I use this for blacksmithing, which is read a book with something on the cover that a blacksmith would create. And Maud is holding 2 swords. For the Pretty Princess board game quarterly challenge, I applied this to the letter I in my bonus section for Alona Andrews. And then for Read the Season, I also applied this to the letter I, but this was for holiday number 2. And that's it there. As for what I'm going to pick up next, I have been kind of looking at what I want my TBR for the rest of the month to be. And I kind of narrowed things down. The Novellathon starts in a couple of days, so I have some plans. But I was wanting to pick up Witches Get Stitches. I have not picked it up yet. Originally, I was going to pick this up last night, but then I ended up not picking up anything last night and just went to bed after I took a shower. So I have not started my reread of Witches Get Stitches, but I do plan to read this before the end of this month, because I do need it for a couple of prompts that I have for the monthly challenges going on. Oh my gosh, I totally didn't look at what this would give me for... Oh, I have a quest prompt that's a book from a middle shelf. And all of my Alona Andrews are the 2nd and 3rd shelf from the bottom. So I will apply this to that for 10 points as a quest for Magical Readathon. I can't believe I forgot to say that. So there is that. But my other thought was I was debating if I wanted to read this first or after, because tomorrow, April 25th, The Alice Curse drops by Megan Van Dyke, and I was hoping that it would pop on my Kindle at 10 p.m. my time when it all gets released at midnight Eastern time, and it still hasn't showed up. And then I checked at 11 and it still hasn't showed up. It's now 11:30, so I mean, we'll see what happens. But I wanted to start it tonight so then I could try to finish it tomorrow night. But we'll see. Okay, so let's do the quest calendar, and then I do have a couple things I want to grouse about. So I have been playing the quest calendar by Sundial Games. This is a daily calendar that you play like a tabletop role-playing game that is D20 based. So think Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, D20 modern systems like that. I have Sundial Games linked down below. Fun fact, they are a Colorado-based company, which is fun. But 2023's theme is the Voidspark Chronicles, as you can see here. And this is a sci-fi based year. So think Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, Battlestar Galactica, you know, that type of a thing. I do have the Hero Book Companion as well. If you get the quest calendar to play for yourself, I think it is a lot of fun and I highly recommend it. It has a lot of really easy things in it. They did some changes to last year's where it's now landscape. So you get your ship character sheet, which is great, and then you get all of the base characters that they allow. You can also create your own, but I have been playing as Zarilla Tur. She is an Urzen Mystic, which is great. And then what's also fun this year is they did also add for equipment and upgrades to the ship, reusable stickers, so that's super cool as well. So there's that's the character sheet. Let me set things aside here. So as for what the calendar looks like if you haven't seen it. So here is where we left off on Friday. All of this script type font is the story that I will read out. Anything in this block style font, usually in this box, will be the mechanics of how we are playing through that day's story. And then this specifically is a combat page. So you will see a little table here that tells you how many enemies, how many rounds, and what types of rolls you might have to do in combat. So let's just get into it. And let's move on. And we have 2 days. We got to do Saturdays and Sundays are combined. So we got to do this weekend's, and then we got to do today's Mondays. So, okay, it looks like we are battling more of these guys. And they are trying to steal Andy and some scientists. Okay. The Zorian soldiers continue to take the offensive position and fire upon you as they load up Andy as a prisoner. Their aggressive attack has you pinned down and struggling to return fire. That's not good. Okay, so we have 1 round each for 3 soldiers, and we'll have to make a dexterity roll, an attack roll, and then damage roll. So there's focuses. Maybe. Okay, we'll just move on. It doesn't want to focus. So, all right. So we will be making a dexterity roll before any attack rolls to avoid becoming restrained, which means we will be unable to attack. So our dexterity is a +4, our attack is a +6, and our damage is 2d10 +2. So let's just kind of get into it. So dexterity is first. And that is a 19, so 23 total. And we needed an 8 or more. So we are fine. We can attack like normal. So, and I rolled a 13, so 19 to hit. Okay, so we needed a 14 or more. So we have hit, so I will roll damage. Okay, and that is 12, 13, 14 damage. Okay, and we had 6 or more, so the enemy dies. So soldier number 1 is dead. On to soldier number 2. So we will just continue. Dexterity roll. That is a 7, so we are the 8 or above with our +4, so which is perfect. So then attacking, and that is a 17. So 23 to hit on soldier number 2. And this one we needed a 13 or more, so I will roll damage as well. Okay, 7, 6. So 13, 14, 15. And this one needed an 8 or more to be dead. So soldier number 2 is dead. On to soldier number 3. So dexterity roll first. That's an 11. So we are over the 8 or more on the die. So then we will roll our attack here. And that is a 14. So 20 to hit. Okay, and then we needed 12 or more for soldier number 3. And our final round of damage on this. So that is 11, 12, 13 total damage. And this one needed 9 or more to be killed. So all 3 soldiers are killed. And we get to collect 1 credit for each enemy we killed. So I will add 3 credits to my character sheet. Now, the one thing I will mention also too is on the weekend pages, they have added for 2023 the Sunday lottery. And what that is you have the option, if you would like when you play the page, to roll a d6. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you lose a little bit of money. If you roll a 3 or higher, you gain a little bit of money. So far, we haven't lost any money. Although I feel like I should stop saying that every week. Because one of these days, I'll say it, and I will roll a 1 or a 2. But this time I rolled a 4, so we gained 2 credits. So total of 5 credits for this page. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, all of the information that we needed to play is on the back of the previous day's page. I can't believe I forgot to tell you that. So that's how I was getting our information. So you can't spoil yourself, which is nice. So those are the guys that we fought. These 3 guys. So let's see what today brought. Ooh, okay. All right. It looks like they are trying to just load up and escape. The Zorian ship ignites its engines and begins to take flight. While on the ground, you might have a slim chance to shoot out an engine and slow the ship down, but you'll have less time to get back to the Fang and begin your pursuit. So 1 is optional. Take a moment to shoot at the Zorian's engines, which is a d20 plus attack roll. And then 2, take off quickly to pursue the Zorian ship, which is a wisdom roll, reminder piloting. Okay. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it because it might slow them down. It'll slow us down, but it might slow them down even more. So we're going to try it. And we're going to see how this goes. So our attack roll, once again, is a +6. And that is a 1. Okay. I do have my time step ability, and that allows me to re-roll 1 roll per page. So we are going to use that because we literally can't do any worse. So let's see. 18. That was worth the use of that. So a total of 24. Okay, if the result is 15 or more, you make the perfect shot at the enemy's engines. Something blows and it sputters out briefly. Any good engineer can redirect the thrust, so this won't permanently disable them, but it will slow them down. Gain a +4 bonus to take off in pursuit, number 2 below. Okay, so number 2, take off quickly to pursue the Zorian ship. So our wisdom is a +4. We do not have piloting, but we get our bonus +4. So we get a +8 to our roll. And that is a 12, so that gives us 20. Okay, if the result is 15 or more, you get the crew organized and they resume their positions quickly. You waste no time taking off and chasing down the enemy ship. You will be close behind them and have a better shot at catching up to them. Gain a +10 bonus to aim and fire upon the Zorian ship on the next page. So we are doing ship combat tomorrow, which is fun. So I will make sure to get that note down so we don't forget that we get the bonus, and add the increased credits to that. And that's all I really kind of have for you today. I do want to mention the Avs played tonight. They lost in overtime, which is unfortunate, but they did win Saturday's game. So they have split both 2-2s. So they are coming back home for Wednesday's game. So they'll be back here in Colorado. And the series is split 2-2. So at the very least, we're going to game 6 of 7. Oh boy. It was a rough game tonight. There were some shining moments, but I mean, I saw that overtime coming. I saw the pucks just sitting there and I was like, why aren't we clearing it? And they got the rebound and just put it in. And I was like, as soon as I saw the puck just sitting there and there was like that split second of nobody touching it, I was like, it's over. But I just hope they get it together. I mean, I'm confident in them, but the Seattle Kraken have scored first in every single game. So they're not starting these games very well. And they're having to like catch up. And I trust in the boys. They can do this. But it's just, we haven't seen a full 60-minute game from them where they are just on it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's over when it's over, right? They've at least won 2 of the games. I mean, we still have home ice advantage. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah. All right. I'm going to get all this cleaned up and set up my Romanceopoly board. And then I will be back and we will do my new roll. Okay. We got the board set up. Excuse my craft stuff. I'm still in the middle of crocheting projects here. So, I pulled out my little guy, and we are on Star Harbor. I picked 2 dice. We're kind of going with the pinky purple theme here today. And let's just get to it. So, let's see what happens. So, 6. We are on a Killer Crescent. Okay. Let's see what that is. Okay, so this is for generic genre is thriller books, as you can see. And then the specific prompt is read a thriller or a mystery of your choice. Now, that's kind of interesting because this is romance-obly, so I guess I'll try to find a romantic suspense or read a romance that has a mystery, but I don't read thriller books anymore, really. And even when I did, I only read Robin Cook books. So yeah, this one might take me a little bit to find, but hopefully I will be able to pick up something that has a mystery in it, even if it isn't like a super elaborate mystery. I will be able to find something for that. Easy enough. So yeah, that was a super quick roll, and that's all I have for you today. So I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hello. It's been a few days. Happy Thursday. Yeah, things have been happening, and we had another Avs game last night, and they lost 3-2, and they are down in the series 3-2, so they next play on Friday, and that's to see if we can push it to a game 7 or not. So it's kind of unfortunate. There was a lot going on. And once again, there are so many inconsistencies with refs calling games across the whole playoffs. I've seen a lot of complaints about refs, more so than usual, and a lot more valid points, I feel like, and not just people complaining, although there is that too. But we've also seen some inconsistent suspensions from player safety once again, which you would think of all the departments in the NHL, the one that wouldn't be a joke would be player safety, but they're just complete utter nonsense and needs a whole revamp. But it's probably not going to happen under Gary Bettman, unfortunately, because like one of his good friends or something is the head of player safety, or I don't know. It drives me nuts that there's no consistent ruling on who does or doesn't get punished and what the punishment is on things that happen on the ice. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it too much more. So, yeah, happy Thursday. Let's just get straight to it. So, we have 3 days to do on the quest calendar. So, I last left you on Monday, and we are chasing after the people who are trying to steal Andy. So, and then we did get a +10 to our aim for today, for Tuesday's page. So, yep, we are in flight chasing after them. So super fun. Okay, so let's just get into, let's read it first here. You zoom across the planet of Thorax while the Zorian ship weaves in and out of range along the outskirts of the city Emanara. They turn their rear cannons to target your ship and fire on the Fang as they flee. Okay, so we're going to have 4 rounds, aim and evasion. Okay, so engage in ship combat. So round 1. So we're normally at a +20, but for today we are at, or for this page, we are at +30. And that is a 62, so 92. Okay, so round 1, if your aim roll is 55 or more, your shot hits and you take no damage. So perfect. On to round number 2. And that is 36. So 66 if your aim roll is 65 or more. That's probably the closest I've ever come on these. That was by the hair on our chinny chin chin, as they say. So that is a 40. So 70 for round 3. And this one is 45 or more. So on to round number 4. That is 83. So 113. And round 4 is 75 or more. Perfect. So collect 1 credit for each round your shot hit. It hit all 4 rounds. So perfect. And let's move on. So once again, that's us flying after the other ship. So then yesterday, Wednesdays, okay, so it looks like we're getting a little closer and we've got 4 more rounds of ship combat. The Zorian ship pitches upward and diverts full power to its boosters in preparation to leave the planet. You push onward in hopes of stopping its escape before it breaks atmosphere. The Fang alone doesn't have the void spark engine necessary to achieve faster than light travel. Okay, so let's do it all again, but this time we do not get the +10. So engage in ship combat. All right, that is a 94, so we're back to our +20, so 114. For round 1, we needed a 60 or more, so we are good. Round 2 is a 95. Okay, we're feeling ourselves today, or at least this page. So 115, and this one needed 55 or more. On to round 3. 87. Wow, these are good rolls. So 107 on this one, and we needed 65 or more. So on to round number 4. That is a 93. All right, so 113, and this one needed 70 or more. Okay. The Zorian ship engages in its FTL drive and disappears into space. You will be unable to follow further. You must turn back to check on the crew you left behind at the scrapyard on the planet's surface. Collect 1 credit for each round your shot hit. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so they got away from us. So I'm assuming today's page, yep, is getting back with everybody. And of course, her son is bawling his poor little eyes out. That's her son right there. Okay, you land back at the scrapyard and must face the crew as you inform them of your failure to rescue Andy. So 1, endure the fatigue as you debrief on the events that happened, which is a constitution roll. 2, console and comfort Maddox, which is a charisma roll. And then 3, search for ship parts to repair the Karnak and Fang. Intellect roll, reminder investigator. Okay, so all right, number 1, endure the fatigue as you debrief on the events that happened. You are exhausted and tired from the preceding battles and stresses of the invasion and kidnapping. You've been through a lot and your body and mind need rest. So this is just a straight constitution roll. So let me get back to my character sheet here. And our constitution is a +1. Okay, that is a 18. Okay, if the result is 15 or more, you muster up the mental fortitude to move past your exhaustion and press on. You gain a +2 bonus on all rolls on this page. Okay, so console and comfort Maddox. So we have a virtue check. Our virtue is +9. So if the virtue is 5 or more, gain a +2 bonus to your roll. So we get a +4 to console and comfort Maddox, which is a charisma roll, which is a -2. So we get a grand total of +2 to our roll. And that is a natural 20. Heck yes. Okay. So thank you for the bonuses, but we did not need them. But Maddox agrees that things could have been worse. The cutoff was 15. He is eager to help you any way he can to rescue his mother, including helping you to repair the Karnak. Gain a +3 bonus to number 3 below. Okay, so search for ship parts to repair the Karnak and Fang. You look through all the wreckage from down Stitcher ships and various areas of the scrapyard for spare parts. So intellect roll, which is a +1, and we do not have investigator, but we do get our +2 bonus plus our +3 bonus. So that's 5 plus our 1. So total of 6 to our roll, and that is a 13. So that makes it 19. And once again, 15 or more. You find 6 ship parts that you can use to repair the Karnak and Fang. We haven't taken any damage, but that puts us up to 18 ship parts, which is nice in case we will need them. So far, we haven't, knock on wood. Okay, so that's it for the quest calendar. Let's kind of move on. So when I last chatted with you, I was waiting for the Alice curse to drop, and you know, I checked it at 11, I checked it at midnight, I checked it at 1 a.m., and it still didn't pop through. So it did come through when I woke up Tuesday morning. I did see it sitting on my Kindle, so I don't know what happened there. So I have since finished it. So I started it Tuesday night when I got home, and I finished it yesterday during the Avalanche game, and I'm gonna give this one 4.5 stars. So this is Alice in Wonderland retelling. I super enjoyed it. I enjoyed Megan Van Dyke's rating here. I didn't quite enjoy it as the previous two books, but that might be because I don't know very much about Alice in Wonderland. I saw the like original Disney cartoon version once when I was little, wasn't a big fan. I have seen the first Johnny Depp one because I think there's two, which is also the Disney one, and it was okay, but I don't really remember anything of it at all. But so this is like the first Alice gets this curse, and so this may be a closer retelling than I understand of Alice in Wonderland, so I might have missed some like winks and nods and different things. But so this is Eliza, and her grandmother has recently passed away, and her grandmother only had a son, and then he had her. So she is the next by blood in line to become the Alice. So Phineas, who can shapeshift into the White Rabbit, comes to collect her because Wonderland's starting to kind of go into chaos, and so he is tasked to bring Alice to Wonderland so she can decide who's gonna rule, red or white. And it's their romance. It was super cute. I loved their romance portion of it. I thought it was really just really sweet, and I just loved the connection that they had. It almost had like a fated mates type of situation. There were some interesting things with Phineas and his family situation. He is from the White Court, but we find out early on that his mother was charged, or I don't know exactly the word to use, but she was accused maybe of adultery, and it was true. So she was basically tasked to die, and because it's against the law, and she tried to run with Finn, or Finn tried to help her run to get out of the White Court to save her life, and because he stood up for his mother who broke the law, he then also becomes a criminal, and while they are escaping, his mother ends up being killed, but he is taken in by the king of the Red Court and kind of became his ward and trained to be one of his like soldiers. And Finn has a lot of magic, so that's also a big thing that is important why he kind of is still around. There's weirdness with the Red Court and them having pretty much an open marriage. Hold on one second. Okay, the wind is picking up, and my little avalanche thing that I have hanging on my front door was like banging around in the wind, so I went to pull it off. But they have an open relationship, and there's this weird thing where they both just kind of sleep with whoever they want, and it's known that it was like a marriage of alliance, and the queen herself is by blood the rightful queen, but she doesn't have any magic, and the king of the Red Court did, and he was from a powerful family, so they were engaged to be married, but they both kind of have their way and indulge in all their pleasures, which is the thing with the Red Court, is they are very indulgent of pleasures. Yeah, and so we get the situation where they're at the Red Court, and then Alice eventually, she will have to make a choice between the Red Court and the White Court, and then she ends up going to the White Court kind of against her will. I mean, all of this is kind of against her will, and then she kind of has to make a decision, but she's trying to avoid making the decision, and she wants to break the curse of Alice. So her name is Eliza and her last name is Carol, which is super fun. And we get her guardian. The guardian to Alice is Cheza, and it's the Cheshire cat pretty much. And she is court neutral, and she's kind of all over the place. There is like a tea party, and we do see the Jabberwock and the Bandersnatches. We do see Tweedledee and Tweedledum in kind of a different role. Like, there were some things that I know because they're like generic Alice in Wonderland things. There is a little nod to like the eat me, drink me situation. And that happens at the tea party. But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. And I gave it 4.5 stars because I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I flew through it really quickly. I just feel like it didn't quite hit me as good as the 2 previous books in this series. And I think it's just because I don't really know much or really have ever had the inkling to know more about Alice in Wonderland. But I still thought it was super fun. And I plan on getting the paperback copy, and yeah. So, I don't think I said, but this is the 3rd book in her reimagined fairy tale series, and the 4th one is supposed to come out later this year, and it is the Beauty and the Beast retelling that I'm very excited for. So, still no teasers or any information outside of that it is coming. I think she said Q3 or Q4 this year, so we'll see what happens. As for, my goodness, reading challenges, I use this for Gildathon. This worked for ongoing series, so this gives me 10 points instead of the 5 for a normal prompt. For Pretty Pretty Princess Pretty Pretty Princess board game quarterly challenge, I use this for one of the bonus letters in categories for the letter R for the series, which once again reimagined fairy tales. For Read the Season, I applied this for the letter A because in that one you are allowed to drop like thes and us and like preposition type stuff. And that was in holiday number 3. For Fantasy, for the Fantasy-a-thon, I'm going to apply this mainly to fairy tale retelling, but it also would work for fantasy romance and finish a series. But I'm also counting that as, you know, finish up to publication and not like the series is done. I'm kind of fudging that one a little bit. So there is that. Now this one I'm not going to talk too much about because yesterday also started the Novellathon. If you did not see my TBR video, I will link it up above. But I picked up my first book for the Novellathon during the reading sprints that were last night. And I picked up the group book, which was Crybaby by Marina Vivancos. And I'm not going to say too much about it outside of it's a standalone. I gave it 4 stars. And check out my dedicated reading vlog for that. But I will tell you what reading challenges I'm applying it to. So for Gildathon, I used it for Rising Phoenix for a character that goes through a rebirth or transition. For Read the Season, I also applied this to holiday number 3. And I used this for the letter M, because the author's first name is Marina. And then this covered a bunch of Novellathon prompts, but I'll talk about that in my Novellathon vlog. So that is it for there. As for what I'm going to pick up next, I had 4 official books on my TBR, and then I have 2 books that I'm going to do the spinner wheel for. So I'm going to pick up one of my other official books. So I'm going to do the 0.4 novella, which is The Assassin and the Underworld, I believe. Yeah, The Assassin and the Underworld by Sarah J. Maas. This is 0.4 prequel novella for her Throne of Glass series. And yeah, so I'm going to read that. I might read the 0.5 as well because that's also on my TBR. But yeah, I'm going to read that tonight and see. My goal is to get through 2 novellas tonight, whether it's the 2 in this or it's 2 of a different one. We shall see, but I'm hoping to make some good head ground since I won't have a game or anything else going on tonight. So I can just focus on reading, which is nice. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a great Friday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hello, happy Friday. It is 11:30 Friday night. I've got a cute little kitty right here. And she's all Twitter-pated because I've been super Twitter-pated. The Avalanche won game 6, 4-1. My boys finally... Why are you playing under the tripod? My goodness. They showed up to play. This is the team I was expecting to show up the previous 5 games. And they were there from puck drop. And they were there the full 60 minutes. So we're on to game 7, which is the deciding game. And yeah, so Sunday's game decides whether or not they move on to round 2, which is crazy. And I'm so happy they pushed it to a game 7. Wow. It was a heck of a game. That is for sure. Okay, what are we doing? If you're going to come through, come through. Yeah, I know. It's hard to be a cheese booth. Okay, so as for bookish stuff, I gotta lean forward and you're just standing on me. Hi. So I forgot to mention yesterday, for the Alice Curse, I did use this for the final quest reading challenge, which is choose a prompt based off the color wheel, and I got purple. And this is a purple and pink cover, but there is purple on it, so cause it's like gradient. So I'm counting it. So I used that, and that got me through the final alchemy quest, which is perfect because I was able to get that read and the quest is finished. There are a couple extra ones that I might just try to pick up every between now and August. Although you have like the entirety of the magical readathon in existence, but to do the quest. But I wanted to get it done, as much of it during April, so I could count those for just the tracking log that everybody is submitting things to. There's no really points or anything, but we're just trying to see who, like, the record of pages and things like that. So, and then as for Crybaby, I did apply this to an extra class, so it doesn't give me any bonus points, but I'm able to log it on the spreadsheet. And I use this for Conjuration, which is a rec by a friend. So then yesterday I did start and finish the 0.4 prequel novella in the Assassin's Blade, which is the assassin in the underworld. I'm going to give it 5 stars. Like I mentioned yesterday, all of the novellas that I'm reading, I'm going to focus on talking about during my vlog. So once again, check that out for more information, but I loved it, obviously, 5 stars. Yeah, it was great. As for reading challenges that I was able to apply this to for Guildathon, this worked for Gold Rush, which is read a hyped book. I think this whole series and SJM in general is hyped. But I think she's worth the hype. For the Pretty Pretty Princess board game quarterly challenge, I use this for the letter T for the bonus prompts. And my bonus prompt is categories. For Read the Season, I had to shift this to holiday number 5, and I use this for the letter M for moss. For the Fantasy-a-thon, I only use this for fantasy romance, and I did count this prequel novella as fantasy romance because this is where you see Selena and Sam get together. So I'm counting it as that. And then for the Magical Readathon, I also used this for an extra class. And for this one, I did Lore, which is read a book that has a map. So there is that. And I am currently reading the 0.5, the final SJM Along book I have to get to. And that is The Assassin and the Empire. I haven't read too much of it tonight with the Avalanche game being a big deal, and I was really kind of focusing on what was going on with that. I will say though, this is the hardback cover, and I want to keep my nice pretty covers nice, so I have been reading out of my paperback one, so I am that far. I have just over 50 pages left in it, so I am working on that, and I'm excited to finally finish this. And I mentioned this in the vlog, but I will also mention it here. I've been wanting to reread some SJM books. I mentioned potentially picking up some in my May TBR, which I will pop up there. But I was debating between an ACOTAR book and a Throne of Glass book, but reading these prequel novellas, I'm leaning towards the, I mean, I could just read both in May, but I'm leaning towards Tower of Dawn right now because I'm loving this. But yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it as much as I want to, but I am loving this so far. And that's it really. So let's do the quest calendar and we'll make it a quick update today. So yesterday we went back to kind of chat with Maddox and the other scientist people and reconnect with our crew. So I'm guessing we're going to go on a rescue mission. Okay, so here is our captain. This is Captain Kalis, if you have not met her before. So let's see what she has for us. After a rest in your room, Captain Kalis asks to speak with you privately. She seems concerned about the latest events of the Stitcher attack and the encounter with the Zorian Empire. Okay, so number 1 is take a rest. Number 2 is listen to the captain. And number 3 is, can the captain trust you? Yes or no? What? We've been with you for almost 4 whole months. You should be able to trust us. Okay. All right. So take a rest. All right. So restore your health to full, regain all expended uses of abilities, regain all charges, spell, cheat, and surge points, remove the infected condition and the malfunction conditions if applicable. You can change out your equipment if you want, remove a single negative modifier caused from a previous death. So the only thing that really matters for us, as for uses that I've done, is we heal 2 hit points. Okay, so we'll just move on. So listen to the captain. What I'm about to tell you must stay between us. I was running diagnostics on the ship and discovered a residual signal from an encoded communication that was sent after we arrived at the scrapyard. I am unable to decode the entire message, but this signal had our coordinates attached. As a rule, I've never allowed our position to be broadcast unless there is a dire emergency requiring us to send out a distress beacon. Okay? Someone on the ship is responsible for this. It is possible that could have been a mistake, and I hope this is the case. Otherwise, whomever sent this could be secretly working with the Zorian officers we encountered. I know it wasn't you. You were out fixing the water reclamation system with Maddox when the communication was sent. No one else can know about this until we uncover more. I need you to keep this between you and me. Can I trust you? Yes. Okay. Gain 1 virtue point, so we are at the max of positive +10. We are just good characters. Or I am a good character. I'm playing a good character. I hope I have a good character too. But anyway, we are the only 2 that know about this. Keep on the lookout for anything suspicious and report to me if you discover anything. Okay, interesting. So we're going to be a little bit of like sneaky with our own crew, it sounds like. But I wonder what next we're going to do. I don't know if we still have some other passengers to deliver, or if we just kind of took care of them and we just really were focusing on the scientists. But I'm excited to see what happens next, and if we're gonna try to rescue Andy from the Zorians, I don't know. But I think that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great week. Yeah, a lot was kind of going on, and I know I only filmed like 3 clips again, but as much as I like filming clips every day, I definitely have kind of gotten into the mindset where I'm not going to push myself to film every day. Just if I'm not in the mood or if I have other stuff going on, I don't want that extra layer of stress added. So as long as I can kind of stay mostly caught up and at least do a couple of clips a week, I'm happy with that. And then maybe eventually I can get back into the routine of filming a clip every day. But there's just a lot going on. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave me a comment below, why don't you let me know? I don't know if you're watching the hockey playoffs, whether you're a hockey fan or not. I feel like a lot of people jump in for playoffs because playoffs are always like a big deal, or if you usually just watch like the final round for the actual like final to win the Stanley Cup. But otherwise, why don't you leave me a hockey emoji as good luck for the boys, or at least my boys. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon with another video.